The Matt Miller Real Podcast. The Matt Miller Real Podcast. Okay, guys, welcome. Welcome to the new podcast. This one I'm calling the Matt Miller Real Podcast. Because this time, this is the real one. Because I think the last one, it was just a setup. Just multiple years of setting up a podcast called Militant Affection, releasing weeks upon months of episodes, and saying that's the real one, but this is actually the real one. My dog wants to leave the room. 1 second. If you notice, I have a new camera. If you're listening, you maybe don't see it, but my new camera is really keeping things fucking together right now. Let me back away. 1 second. Come on, guy. Alright. It's always important to let your dog leave the room and enter when he can and cannot do. I set up a light in the background over there. I know if you're listening you can't see it, but it's a very floppy light. And I'm trying to look professional here. I have a professional camera set up, a professional froopy light, some shoes. I could describe the place all day. Can you picture it in your mind when you hear my voice where I am? Can you see beyond the wilderness into my home? my home. I got a scarf over here. If like a comedian is bombing and then they start like shitting all over the venue, and then everyone's laughing like, ha ha ha, this venue is bullshit. That's what I'm doing it to my own house. So comedy becomes, life imitates infinitely. It infinitely imitates. I need to get the cursor off here. Whenever I can just see the fucking timer going up, it just goes up and up. It's not a timer that goes. It's not a timer that goes up. I mean the minutes going by. I want things to. I don't want to know how many minutes are going by. I want to just flow in and out of it. As I talk to you on the Matt Miller Real Podcast, I'm telling you, at the time of recording the podcast, I just had to do it. I don't actually have the theme song recorded, but there's going to be a new theme song. Maybe I'll record it right now, and then you'll think about it. It'd be like the Matt Miller Real Podcast. And then I'll just sample that in the beginning, and we'll all enjoy that. All right, I got no topics, so we're really gonna have to chug through this one. The Matt Miller Real Podcast. What do you think I should talk about? It used to be about militant affection. Let's reminisce. This will be a clip show of the old show without any of its clips and just me speaking over the microphone, looking very good. My beard is on full effect. We're coming around into the spring, and I like to grow a nice spring beard to spring me into the spring. And I know the weather's getting warmer, but I want the bottom of my face to get warmer too. I like to match my facial hair to my surroundings. That way nature and me are in tune, in a way. If you think about it, it's not even it's not something that's that wild to do, Because, before people were all cutting their hair, what were they doing? Just being all fucking hairy, right? Just stomping around the world being all fucking hairy, and everyone's like, we're a bunch of fucking hairy lunatics. And now here we are. Just here we are. Just living a life. Living an important life. Amongst our friends and family. Amongst all our, all our people all around. Amongst everyone that you could know or couldn't know. We're just all amongst groups of individuals as we go about our days, really. The way our days are spent are amongst groups of individuals. And we're all looking at each other like, look at all of us. We're just a group of individuals, and we just stare at each other, and we can witness within one another our differences and similarities, and we can laugh with humor and such. is you see what I'm saying here? Do you see what I'm getting on here? What I'm trying to say is this is I'm trying to work with nothing. I've took many months off the podcast, and you think on the new one with the nice HD setup and the lights, I would bring something hardcore. If you notice now, I'm holding a tubing right here. I use a CPAP machine. Have I talked about this before? It goes right into my old face. My old nose gets all fucking old, blow with old air, and it blows right down my old throat, and I can breathe so I don't snore at night, which is pretty sick, dude. Pretty fucking sick, if I do say so myself. But I got a little tube here, and they keep fucking calling me to tell me I need to, what do I need to do? Like, replace the parts, but it's just like, I haven't had these ones for that long. They gave me a lot of replacements. I don't know why I'm telling you. When you listen to the podcast, you want to learn about the insides and outs of someone. You want to learn who someone is. At least I do. I'm not here to talk about current topics or what's going on. I'm just here to flow through the air with my wave-like stance. My wave-like stance on life. But we're talking about this CPAP, and it's been nice. You know what I have done? I've quit caffeine, if you can't tell. But don't I seem so energetic right now? I'm just bringing so many words out. I'm just blasting out all the fucking words. And I quit caffeine. So maybe you should try it too one day. I don't know why. I don't know. I mean, but I did it. I didn't quit anything else, but I quit that. I didn't quit having to stick fucking tubing in my face, if you think I quit tubing. Now, when I talk about tubing, I'm not talking about going on a tube. I'm talking about the CPAP tubing I mentioned earlier. But there was this one time, just only tell stories, that I was holding this blue pen in front of me, and it was blocking my eyes. And if you could see the video, you'd notice that you couldn't see me behind it, even though I'm looking over it. Now, to be honest, this doesn't seem like how I want all this to go up to this point. I wanted to be a little more serious, but I was thinking there was one time in 7th grade when we went to Quebec. Did I ever tell you this story? There was this old French guy that still on the slopes, he wore high waisted shorts and with his bare legs exposed, and he's like, which one of you kids want a tube in the tube with me? and then for a second I was just like, wait, I can go tubing with this guy? And everyone's like, no, you don't go tubing with that fucking guy. Have you seen his fucking legs? And I was like, oh yeah, I need to watch out. I can't just start jumping in tubes with fellas with exposed legs as a child. So that was a time as a boy, as a child. This is the new podcast. This is pretty much how it goes at this point. It's not, I feel like the other ones had a little more cadence and understanding of the capabilities of the human word, the human language. But this one has a certain depth to it that not even I could imagine. But I am imagining it because I'm doing it. So I've changed my mind about the podcast. I think it's now suddenly more than a podcast. It's a way of being. It's a way of understanding. If you're listening to this, I've heard my voice. Someone said, I've heard my voice. It's very good to hear. I got a good sounding voice. Maybe now it doesn't sound as good as other times. Maybe now it's kind of got a little bit of to it. But regardless of that, so maybe I should just start, we can do a little MK Ultra, like me speaking into the audience. What if someone has a podcast? Well, I guess other comedians have tried to start cults from their podcasts. It's not a new concept, but I mean as a joking way. I don't actually think it's a good idea to join a cult. But all I'm saying is if I had a cult, I would treat you so good. You would fucking love it. This new lighting is incredible. This might be the best video I've ever seen on. It's not just the lighting. It's this new camera I got that, I don't know if it's going to look super great once I actually really look at it real close, but right now it's feeling pretty good. And my voice is feeling crisp on the audio. If you guys don't understand production level and in media, then you're never going to succeed. People want the hottest, freshest thing. And I'm bringing you hottest, freshest audio, hottest, freshest video. just during the podcast is part of what I do is I'm like, I'm up in the podcast. And I got the hottest, freshest fucking droopy ass fucking lights in the background that I can redirect your eyes to the fucking lights back here at this point. At this point, if you've been listening to the whole thing, it almost seems like I wrote a long scripture for the podcast that that didn't really go anywhere, and I just kept writing, and it's just like kind of a joke on a podcast where there's no specific thing. And I'm sure many people have done this, and everything, fucking nothing. Everything everywhere all at once is what I'm saying. It's what I'm talking about at this point. Did you see that movie? How did you guys like that? Oh, did I bring this up? I don't know if I ever talked about this. That new All Quiet on the Western Front, I think I did talk about this, but that movie was garbage. That's my take on that. Bad garbage movie, and anyone who likes that movie is a big dumb stupid head. But anywhere else, great movie, top tier movie. Anywhere else, any movie that's about anything at all, especially a movie that's about anywhere, I far think better than a very quiet Western Front movie. So there's been a little review. And now these movies may be kind of out of what's happening in the world, the zeitgeist of the world. These are kind of old movies at this point. Now we're on to new movies. What are even the current movies? What am I even seeing? Oh, I'm going to go see a movie soon. I'm going to keep that a secret, and then maybe next time I'll give a good review of it. It's always good to give a good film review during a podcast, a well-directed, guided podcast like mine. If you can have a good film review during your podcast, you know that you've recorded audio appropriate for mass consumption. We need to hear the viewpoints of another man about his films. And I bring it to you. I have expertise. I went to film school. Did I ever tell you guys I went to film school? I learned how to do little angles. I can make films at an angle. I can zoom in. Everyone likes a good film zoom in. A nice, and you're like, whoa, this scene is like, it's like, a guy zooming in. And then we're all just loving film. Just the magic of cinema is one of the best things for everyone. So to be honest, right now I was trying to watch the Celtics game because I'm gambling on it. I'm gambling again. I quit caffeine, but I'm still gambling, and I'm always just gambling with my life. Really, what recent gambles have I made with my life? I mean, I really haven't made any recent gambles, but I am gambling again. I get they send you money on the fucking apps, and then you just start going off. I know that's how they try to get you. They try to get you to start going off. They send you the cash, give you a little taste of roux, and you're like, you're just eating it up. You're just like, munch, don't. You're a sound effect of eating, and you take it in, and then you win big. You're like, gang, I hit the fucking thing. I don't know, that wasn't a word, but I hit the thing. You're like, bam, and then you take all the cash in, and then you're like, well, now I'm gonna maybe I'll only take half of it. You start doing on some other bets. You're like, and then you're gambling away all fucking day. But then maybe you start winning, and you're going, and you're all having a good day. But regardless, it does take a lot of your visual time. I understand you don't have to pay attention to the game, I guess, but what fun is that? You want to watch a little fucking sports in your face while you gamble? You don't want to just set the thing and not look. So it just takes up a lot of time, is one of the main issues of gambling, where you don't have time to do your little podcast because you have so much important information to relinquish into the world, but you have time to fucking watch the fucking Celtics? What? And that's a good time check of what time it is now. It's a Celtics-Sixers game 2. I'm sorry, I'm super burpy now. I was eating some hazelnut quadrotinis. So If you like that kind of content, just continue listening. At Matt Miller Real on Instagram, at Matt Miller Real Comedy, Facebook, Twitter.com/Matt Miller Real. My hair is way off there. I need to push it. I need to push it all over the place. Now, all right, we're creating a little something here. We're entering into a hair kind of zone. But yeah, just come out, check it out. I'm gonna do Matt Miller Real Podcast at Matt Miller Real Podcast on Instagram. I'm gonna start putting stuff on there. People can fucking tune in there. I'm gonna put little clips out. Go real in. Make it a real thing. Make it a real wonder of the world. What's your favorite wonder of the world? Perhaps the pyramids. Perhaps the pyramids are your favorite wonder. How would you feel about it? What if you were at the top of a pyramid and they gave you and you got to spin around like a little top on your tip of your toe at the top of a pyramid? What if that happens? What if they're like, could you do that? Would you practice spinning ballerina toe on the pyramid just to do it? To be the first guy to do it. I know you'd practice. You want to get your name out there. We're all trying to get our names out there. You want to be the first little ballerina on the top of a pyramid at this point. And I respect you for that. I think that's warranted at this point. If you haven't noticed, I'm trying to keep this podcast real clean. I need a nice, clean podcast for the mass audience. I think I've said the word fuck, and I may have referenced some things that aren't so clean, but I need the mass audiences to enjoy me. Do I need to adjust this fucking mic? I know this is going to make me want to shit a fucking bastard into a ass. I'm going to want to fucking grab a thing of mud and toss it aboard a sail ship that blows up and kills everyone aboard. It's not going to be that violent usually. I may need to lower this a little bit. I think I'm coming in. I don't know if it's good or bad to be... Wait, which way is up and which... Is lefty loosey lower doer? Is it lower doer lefty loosey or upper dupper righty tighty? Am I getting softer or lower at this point? Something that's always been consistent in most of my podcasting is never exactly... This is why people get producers, right? Just to handle... this kind of mic adjustery, because I don't want to have like lots of big bursts of fucking birthmarks, not birth, that's gross, but a fucking blast. I don't know what we were getting at here. I just started adjusting the mic and we just got to continue. I just got to start with a new topic. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna stop and listen back. Clearly I haven't kicked all my habits. One of my habits of not forgetting what I'm talking about. That habit is still consistent. And now if you see the video, I have my hands around my face. Do you like that, everyone? All right. Something that's nice is the game finally. I have it behind me. I'm watching myself in the video, which is why most of the time my eyes aren't at the camera. But it was black screen for a while because I was trying to have the fucking game on because I can't even do the fucking podcast without having a stupid fucking distraction in front of me. But it's nice because I'm recording the screen too, and I can't actually show any of the game because I think that's owned by the NBA. Unless I'm like really, really critiquing it, I have to be like, well, look at these guys hopping about the court. But just when it came back is during there's a commercial, so of course they allow me to see the commercials, and the fucking game is blacked out because they only care about fucking all that cash. They want to shove cash down their throat and fucking puke from all that money. These greedy fucking NBA people and their TV contracts, and oh my god, it makes me so angry. I'm gonna fight 3 guys and eat their livers. I really want to rewind. I think I was getting to something pretty good before I reached this point of the podcast. I think I was entering into a sort of area of where I excel. But yeah, okay. 1 second. Here we go. 1 second. Twirling around on top the fucking pyramids bit that happened before that I forgot. And I came to this real burpee. I had all the time in the world to set up. I shouldn't put myself down. And also, It's not good to put yourself down, make fun of yourself. You gotta feel good about yourself. You gotta live in a world of happiness and joy, everyone. You fucking idiots. You dumb morons. You stupid. I don't know why. To me, it always feels so funny just to be like, you stupid idiots. Just to listeners of the thing you want people to listen to. You're all a bunch of dummies. You guys think you can come here and look at me? Well, look at my eyes. They're so open. Because I look back at the video I've been shooting, and my eyes are so fucking shut. This part of the podcast that you're listening to now. This is going to be the Patreon episode, and I'm going to try to look more into the camera on the main episode. So just enjoy that, everyone. Googly doo. I don't know what. Man, I'm just such a silly guy. I'm so silly at this point in my life. I've become such a silly guy, and. All right, so this is going to be the end. I can't believe I plugged myself in the Patreon episode, but I'm going to also do it in the regular episode. And this is just the first, look into the podcast, the new version with the new camera. The audio feels fresh. I feel fresh. My life is fresh. And if you want to stay fresh, just stay with me here. We can all be such fresh guys. Just the freshest couple of guys there could be. Me and you. Just you, the one guy. No, there's tons of you guys, and you're all my favorite guys, and I wish I could invite you all over, and we could have a nice potluck. I can maybe cook some gumbo. I'm a gumbo expert, and I think you'd all enjoy that very much, but I wouldn't do that. There's too many people. There'd be too many people gathered. I like a small crowd. A limited crowd. So there you go. Matt Miller Real Podcast. Thank you. It's the Matt Miller Real Podcast. It's the Matt Miller Real Podcast.